Hey, good morning, everyone. Hey, I know it's not Tuesday, but I was out cleaning my pool and I was thinking, like I often do, and I was compelled to put another message out there this week just about type 1 diabetes because we run into it a lot, and often people will think that, well, I have a disease that you can't cure, so nutrition doesn't matter. And so that makes me really sad. And so I wanted to kind of explain why, for somebody that is type 1 diabetic, why nutrition is so important. So when we have elevated blood sugars, which obviously type 1 diabetics do because their pancreas doesn't make insulin. And so they have to use things like an insulin pump or insulin injections to regulate their blood sugars. And so often their blood sugars will be spiked. Well, what happens in the human body when our blood sugars are elevated is we have increased what's called inflammation, which is the root cause of all disease. And we have increased what's called oxidative stress, which is basically like an exhaust system in our body that causes like cellular damage. So these little particles called free radicals go out and cause damage to our cells. And so it's like our body's aging process. And so when our cells age, they're more likely to have disease, right? So this is the reason why type 1 diabetics, or diabetics in general, are more likely to have diseases like neuropathy, heart disease, cancer, any disease. They're more likely. Pain, wounds, things like that, eye disease. And so for a type 1 diabetic, if you're going to spike your blood sugars with food, because any food's going to elevate your blood sugars, right? Because most all foods have sugars, some have more than others. You want to get bang for your buck. You want to get foods that have phytonutrients in them that actually offset things like oxidative stress and inflammation, and that is plant foods. Plant foods are what contain the phytonutrients that will offset the antioxidants that will offset oxidative stress. Plant foods are what contain the anti-inflammatory properties that will reduce your inflammation. So if you're going to eat, you might as well eat foods that will help reduce some of that is going on inside of your body. So not only does nutrition matter, but it matters more to somebody that has type 1 diabetes. And the beautiful thing about something like Juice Plus, so every time a type 1 diabetic has to eat like fruits or vegetables, they have to dose that, right? Because their body doesn't make the insulin to reduce blood sugars. So their body has to dose that. So when you take Juice Plus, the beautiful thing about it is that they've preserved all those wonderful phytonutrients that offset oxidative stress and inflammation, but somehow they've done that without leaving the sugar in. The sugar is not concentrated, and neither is salt or some of the other minerals. So that's been pulled out. So it's like a no dose. So I know I have a cousin that has a son with type 1 diabetes, and she's, obviously he is very conscious of what he eats because he doesn't want to go blind one day. And so, but they use the Juice Plus capsules every day to help make sure that he gets all that nutrition in his body to offset the oxidative stress and inflammation that goes on in his body more than the average bear, because his body at times will struggle to regulate his blood sugar. So I hope that makes sense. It's just nutrition matters for anybody. Certain people, especially those with disease who have increased inflammation and oxidative stress, it matters even more. So some reason the good Lord was compelling me to talk about that this morning. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you guys have a good day. All right, bye.